been found as legislators, when we go into these courts, the term violent crime is even used when people are stealing packages. Violent crime is even used when people are accused of burglary and there happens to be a housing unit in that same dwelling. So violence is an artificial construction. And we have to be very clear that what is happening here with these district attorneys, that is violence. That is violence of the highest degree. We have
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all having a great and wonderful day. And this is something quite interesting, right? Because we have Mamdani here. I think that's how to pronounce his name. Zohran Mamdani. This guy here. It seems that he's a lot worse than we initially thought. Now, I knew that this was a problem because, you know, he is a socialist, he's a communist, and he's proving it. And there's going to be a bit more, that's going to be like one more video on him, at least in particular, just to kind of go over. But this is going to be showing exactly on what he's doing. So when we have with these talk about his cash and bail systems, or what he's been portraying here as, this is what we have here with his cash and bail reform eliminations. As of January 1st, 2020, a defendant must be released from custody without bail for the following crimes: manslaughter in the second degree, aggravated vehicular homicide, criminally negligent homicide, assault in the third degree, aggravated vehicular assault, making a terroristic threat, criminal possession of a gun on school grounds, criminal possession of a firearm, criminal sale of a firearm to a minor, arson in the third and fourth degree, money laundering in support of terrorism in the third and fourth degree, promoting or possessing an obscene sexual performance by a child, aggravated cruelty to animals, overdriving, torturing, and injuring animals, animal fighting, unlawful imprisonment in the first degree, coercion in the first degree, grand larceny in the first degree, criminal possession of a controlled substance in the first degree and second degree, criminal sale of a controlled substance in the first and second degree or near on school grounds, specified felony drug offenses involving the use of children, including the use of a child to commit a controlled substance offense, and criminal sale of a controlled substance to a child, criminal solicitation in the first degree and criminal solicitation in the first degree, patronizing a person for prostitution in a school zone, failure to register as a sex offender, obstructing governmental administration in the first and second degree, or by means of a self-defense spray device, bribery and bribe receiving in the first degree, bribe giving for public office, promoting prison contraband in the first and second degree, resisting arrest, hindering prosecution, tampering with a juror and tampering with physical evidence, aggravated harassment in the first degree, directing a laser in an aircraft in the first degree, criminal possession of a weapon in the fourth degree, enterprise corruption and money laundering in the first degree. And I want you guys all to know here, right? He wants us without bail, but here's what he's saying. He's saying that crime is a artificial construct. So when is manslaughter, aggravated vehicular homicide, criminal negligent homicide, assault in the third degree, making a terroristic threat, or even like one of the even worse ones, promoting or presenting obscene sexual performance by a child? How are these not criminal? These are like violent in general at all. Like, what are we doing here? Like, this is the insane part of what we have with Mamdani. It's like Mamdani here. It's like, there's no way you can say that violence is an artificial construct when we have this insanity going in here. This is insane. He is going to defund the police, and then he is going to release all these criminals into New York City, and the crime is going to skyrocket so high that it's going to be insanity here. He will cause more death, more chaos, more destruction in New York City than any other mayor possible. He will destroy New York City. This is the worst mayor candidate I have ever seen in my entire life. If you think it ended there, no, it doesn't, because it goes down to even further with discovery to reform. It says New York's discovery reform requires automatic discovery, eliminating the need for defense attorneys to make written demands to obtain and review evidence. The new time frame for disclosure generally requires the prosecution to turn over all discoverable materials no later than 15 days after arraignment. Currently, the defense must take a written request and there's no time frame. The defense will now have access to victim information, including names and addresses. Defendants will be able to obtain access to crime scenes to inspect, photograph, or measure. Defendants will no longer be required to consider a plea offer without knowledge of the evidence against them. The defense must provide reciprocal discovery within 30 days after the prosecution has served a certificate of compliance, which the prosecution must now complete, stating they exercised due diligence and made reasonable inquiry into the existence of relevant materials, and that the prosecutor has turned over all known discoverable materials. The certificate must also list all the materials that have been turned over. This is insanity here. This is insanity. I cannot believe that we're in this day and age where we're allowing somebody this radical, this insane, to be the mayor of New York. It's insane. Like, he's going to cause so much problems in New York City that I can't even fathom. And now we have this here. It gets. Remember how I said it gets worse? Well, guys, it always has to get worse with these people because they are essentially communists. What we have here is the actual list of Zohran Mamdani here, and this is what he's doing. He says, will include implementing much of the New York City Advisory Commission on Property Tax Reform's 2020 recommendations, which are comprehensive. However, shorter term, immediate relief is necessary. The administration will shift the tax burden from overtaxed homeowners in the outer boroughs to more expensive homes in richer and whiter neighborhoods. The property tax system is unbalanced because assessment levels are artificially capped. So homeowners in expensive neighborhoods pay less than their fair share, meaning that means white people, black people, or minorities are paying more than white people somehow, for some apparent reason. The mayor can fix this by pushing class assessment percentages down for everyone and adjusting rates up, effectively lowering tax payments for homeowners in neighborhoods like Jamaica and Brownsville while raising the amount paid in the most expensive Brooklyn brownstones. So, again, what we have here is that he's taxing white people. This is insane. The fact that we have a person that is going to tax white people more money for whatever reason because he's an actual racist is insanity to me. We have this here for advocate for the inclusion of circuit breakers to ensure that low and moderate income homeowners, like many of our seniors living in gentrifying neighborhoods, are not cost burdened by the changes. Stop treating co-ops and condos as if they were rentals. The Mamdani administration will work with state lawmakers to abolish real property tax law, Section 581, which compares condos and coops to rental properties and creates arbitrary and unequitable tax burdens on moderate and low income owners. This is insane. I can't tell you guys on how bad this is gonna cause with these issues with Mamdani and how all these things are just coming into place because New York is just not going to be a city anymore. And the big problem that we have with this as well is that we have Mamdani just completely having a huge issue with the whole Jewish part, and that's an issue. And let's add more to this as well. He also wants to spend $60 to $80 million around that spending to the alphabet community, the trans community, to mutilate and defigure kids. That's what he wants. He wants to spend that money for the trans people. This is insane. Take a look.
Things that we've said beyond saying that we're going to make this a sanctuary city for LGBTQIA plus workers, beyond saying that we're going to establish an office of LGBTQIA plus affairs, is also that we're going to provide $65 million of funding for gender affirming care, the same amount of funding the federal government threatened to pull out.
Yeah, so again, this is a huge problem that we have here. I mean, I'm pretty sure this is like an 80-20 rule or 80-10 thing where like majority of the people just do not want to deal with don't want to deal with the trans side. But it gets even worse because we have this here to where 50 Cent pretty much is offering to pay Mamdani to get the hell out. So what we have here is that 50 Cent offers to pay NYC mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani $258,000 to get lost after a socialist named dropped Queens rapper. 50 Cent said he'll pay a pretty penny to get rid of Democratic Socialist Zohran Mamdani and his tax the rich plan after the Big Apple Mario hopeful name dropped the Queens rapper on a popular podcast. Where did he come from? Whose friend is this? I'm not feeling this plan. No, I will give him $258,000 and a first-class one-way ticket away from New York. The 49-year-old hip-hop star, whose real name is Curtis James Jackson III, was firing back at comments Mamdani made about raising taxes while appearing on The Breakfast Club earlier this month. He's getting blasted by these people, by 50 Cent or whatever, and he's just going to cause major issues. I mean, what we have here, guys, is simply just a person that, like, if you tax the rich, which I'm fine with taxing the rich, but evenly or what have you, but if you tax them too much and they can't make, like, an actual profit, or they can't make, like, good revenue or what have you, to where they can pay people, then that means that they're going to lay off people, or they're going to close their business and move somewhere else, and then those jobs get dropped, and then people don't have work, and then there's a cascade effect of this happening over and over again, where people just can't work or find work because all the work just left. So you can't be doing this type of stuff. And Mamdani is just being the high one to do this. So again, a lot of the things that Mamdani doing here is going to destroy New York City. And if, God forbid, if he removes if he defunds the police and he does the things that he wants to do with this cash and bail system that he has in place, or policy, it's going to be catastrophic. There's going to be so much chaos in New York, I wouldn't even want to be anywhere near there. God forbid, it will be one of the worst things in existence. So that being said, Mamdani is a fool. He's going to destroy New York if he becomes the actual mayor there, and New Yorkers need to start realizing on how bad this is actually going to be. All right, guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share. As always, take care, my friends.